The Adventures of Luna and the Learning Stars. One warm summer evening, Luna sat by her window, gazing up at the twinkling stars in the night sky. Unlike other nights, tonight felt different. The stars seemed to shimmer more brightly, almost as if they were calling out to her. Luna, a curious little girl with a mind full of questions, had always dreamed of exploring the universe. "What do those stars know?" she whispered to herself, wondering what mysteries they held about Earth and beyond. Suddenly, a gentle breeze brushed through her room, carrying with it a soft voice. "Come with us, Luna," the voice whispered, "and we'll show you the wonders of the galaxy." Luna gasped as a trail of sparkling stardust floated through her window and wrapped around her like a warm hug. Before she knew it, she was lifted from her bed, soaring into the sky and beyond, her heart racing with excitement. Her adventure had begun. Luna found herself floating gently through a glowing galaxy, stars twinkling all around her. One star, larger and brighter than the rest, drifted closer to her. "Hello, Luna," the star said, its voice kind and wise. "I am Gravitas, the star of gravity. Have you ever wondered why things fall to the ground on Earth?" Luna nodded eagerly. "Yes. Why do apples fall from trees? And why can't we float like we do here?" Gravitas smiled warmly and explained. "Gravity is a force that pulls everything toward the center of the Earth. It's the reason you stay grounded when you walk and why the moon orbits your planet. Without it, everything would drift away." Luna listened intently, amazed by the invisible force that held her world together. "Thank you, Gravitas," she said, feeling a new sense of wonder. "I'll never look at falling apples the same way again." After saying goodbye to Gravitas, Luna floated deeper into the galaxy until another star, blue and shimmering like the sea, approached her. "Welcome, Luna," the star said, its voice soothing like the sound of rain. "I am Aquor, the star of the water cycle. Do you know how rain forms and why rivers never run dry?" Luna shook her head, eager to learn. "Water travels in a great cycle," Aquor explained. "First, it evaporates from lakes, oceans, and rivers, rising up into the sky as invisible vapor. Up there, it cools and condenses into clouds. When the clouds become heavy, the water falls back to Earth as rain or snow, nourishing the land. Then, it flows back into the rivers and seas, and the cycle begins again." Luna was amazed. "So, it's like water is always traveling and never really disappears?" she asked. "Exactly," said Aquor. "Every drop has its own journey, just like you." Luna continued her journey through the magical galaxy when she spotted a small, twinkling star hovering nearby. It seemed softer, less bright than the others, but it had a warmth that made her feel safe. "Hello, Luna," the star said. "I am Amica, the star of friendship. I don't teach about science or nature, but I can tell you something just as important, about the power of friendship." Luna smiled. "I love my friends, but sometimes I don't know how to be a good friend," she admitted. Amica glowed gently. "Friendship is about kindness, Luna. It's about listening, helping others, and sharing in their joys and sorrows. Like stars, true friends are always there, even when you can't see them." Luna's heart filled with warmth as she thought of her friends back on Earth. "Thank you, Amica," she said, realizing how much she cherished her friendships. "I'll remember that." As Luna drifted onward, a green star caught her eye, glowing brightly like a lush forest. "Greetings, Luna," said the star, its voice vibrant and full of life. "I am Chloros, the star of photosynthesis. I can teach you how plants create their food using the power of the sun." "How do plants eat without mouths?" Luna asked, puzzled. Chloros chuckled. "Plants absorb sunlight through their leaves, which they use to turn carbon dioxide and water into food. This process, called photosynthesis, helps plants grow strong and gives them the energy to produce oxygen, the air you breathe." Luna's eyes widened in surprise. "So plants help us live by making oxygen?" she asked. "Exactly," said Chloros. "We are all connected, Luna, and nature is full of these beautiful partnerships." In the farthest reaches of the galaxy, Luna encountered a dazzling star that shimmered with colors from every corner of the Earth. "I am Orbis, the star of cultures," the star said with pride. "I carry the stories of people from all over your world. Each culture has its own traditions, music, foods, and ways of living. Do you want to learn about them?" Oh yes, Luna exclaimed. Orbis twinkled and began to show Luna glimpses of vibrant festivals in India, the elegant tea ceremonies of Japan, and the rhythmic dances of Africa. Every culture adds something special to the world, Orbis said. By learning from each other, we become richer in understanding and friendship. Luna felt her heart swell with appreciation for the beauty of diversity. As Luna journeyed on, a fiery red star approached her, glowing like molten lava. I am Pyros, the star of volcanoes, it said, its voice booming with energy. I can tell you about the fire deep within the earth. Luna was intrigued. Why do volcanoes erupt? She asked. Beneath the Earth's surface, there are molten rocks called magma, Pyros explained. When pressure builds up, it forces the magma to burst through the Earth's crust, causing an eruption. This fiery display can create new land, like islands, or even change entire landscapes. Luna was amazed. So even destruction can create something new? She asked. Pyros nodded. Yes, Luna. Sometimes from chaos, new beginnings arise. Luna's journey took her next to a soft, glowing silver star. Hello, Luna, it said in a whispery voice. I am Selene, the star of the moon. I help the moon keep watch over your world. Do you know how important the moon is to Earth? Luna shook her head. The moon controls the tides of the oceans and lights up the night sky. It also helps guide animals that travel by moonlight, Selene explained. Without the moon, Earth's days would be different, and the seas would lose their rhythm. Luna looked up at the glowing orb in the distance, and realized just how connected everything was. Luna floated closer to a star that hummed with a melody so beautiful it made her heart flutter. I am Cantus, the star of music, it said, its voice like a song. Music is a universal language, Luna. It speaks to the soul and connects people across the world. Luna smiled, thinking of the songs she loved to sing. Music can make you feel happy, sad, or even brave, Cantus said. It tells stories, carries history, and brings people together. No matter where you are, music is always there, ready to fill your heart. Luna felt a deep connection to Cantus and the harmony that music created across the universe. Next, a star that shimmered with 4 distinct colors, green, gold, white, and pink, drifted toward Luna. I am Tempest, the star of the seasons. I help Earth transition through spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Why do the seasons change? Luna asked. Tempest explained. Earth tilts as it orbits the sun. That tilt changes how much sunlight each part of the planet receives, causing the seasons to shift. It's nature's way of renewing itself. Luna marveled at how the Earth danced around the sun, bringing life, rest, and growth with each season. And so, Luna continued her journey, learning from each star she encountered.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the land on gentle
Benny was no ordinary boy. While other children spent their days playing with toys and watching television, Benny's heart was in the woods behind his house. He'd spend hours exploring the trees, marveling at the squirrels darting between branches or the way birds chirped in perfect harmony. But one day, something extraordinary happened. As Benny sat under a grand oak tree, lost in thought, he heard a soft voice. It wasn't a person, it was a squirrel speaking directly to him. "Hello, Benny," the squirrel squeaked. "We've been waiting for you." Benny blinked in surprise. "Me? You can talk." "To you we can," the squirrel replied. "You have a gift, the ability to understand us. There's much we need to share with you." Benny couldn't believe his ears. He had always loved animals, but he never imagined they could speak to him. Mr. Squirrel, as Benny named him, explained that all the animals in the forest had a special role in the world, and it was time for Benny to learn. Every creature, no matter how small, plays a part in keeping nature in balance, said Mr. Squirrel, his tail twitching. "We want you to hear our stories." Excited, Benny agreed to listen. Mr. Squirrel climbed up to a nearby branch and began his tale. "You see, we squirrels help by spreading seeds. When we bury nuts and forget where they are, trees grow. It's our way of giving back to the forest." The next day, Benny returned to the forest, eager to learn more. As he sat near a patch of flowers, he noticed a line of ants marching diligently in a row. Curiously, he leaned in closer, and just like with Mr. Squirrel, he heard tiny voices. "We are the ants," they chanted, and we have much to teach you about teamwork. The ants shared how every ant had a job. Some were scouts, others were workers, and a few were protectors. They worked together to gather food, build their home, and care for one another. Benny was amazed. So, even the smallest creatures work? As a team? Benny asked. "Yes," said the lead ant. "We teach that no task is too small when we work together." As dusk fell on the third day, Benny heard the soft hooting of an owl. Perched high on a branch, the wise owl called down to Benny. "Come closer, young one. I have stories of the night to tell you." Benny looked up and saw the owl's piercing eyes shining in the dark. "The night time is my kingdom," said the owl. "I watch over the forest when others sleep." Benny listened as the owl described how different animals, like bats and foxes, come to life at night, playing their own special roles in the ecosystem. "Each creature has a time and place to thrive," the owl explained, "and the night belongs to us." One sunny afternoon, Benny found himself near a blooming garden. He watched as bees buzzed from flower to flower, collecting nectar. "We are the keepers of life," said one bee, flying close to Benny's ear. "Without us, the flowers would not grow, and the food would not flourish." The bee explained the process of pollination and how their work helped plants bear fruit. Benny was fascinated by how these tiny creatures played such a huge role in sustaining life. "So, you're not just making honey, you're helping the world grow?" Benny asked. "Exactly," said the bee, proud of their important task. The next day, Benny wandered near the stream that ran through the forest. The water was crystal clear, and Benny sat by the edge, watching the fish swim gracefully beneath the surface. To his surprise, he heard a bubbling voice coming from the water. "We fish may not speak often, but we keep the waters clean." The fish explained how they played an important role in maintaining the health of the river, eating algae and insects to keep the water clear. Not far away, a frog croaked its own story. "And we frogs help too," it said, leaping onto a nearby rock. We keep the balance by eating bugs and keeping the ecosystem in check. One morning, as Benny sat beneath his favorite tree, he noticed a flock of birds flying high overhead. One bird swooped down and perched on a nearby branch. "Hello, Benny," it chirped. "I'm here to tell you about our grand journey." The bird spoke of the long migration birds undertook every year, traveling thousands of miles to find warmer climates. "We follow the seasons," it said. "Our journey is hard, but it helps keep nature in balance. We spread seeds, control insect populations, and play our part in every ecosystem we visit." As Benny wandered deeper into the forest, he began to sense something else, a quiet presence all around him. Suddenly, the trees began to whisper. "We may not move or speak loudly, but we are the guardians of this forest." Benny stood still, listening closely. The trees explained how they provided shelter for animals, released oxygen for all living creatures, and stabilized the soil with their roots. "Without us, life in the forest wouldn't exist as it does today," the trees murmured. "We teach the lesson of patience and endurance." Benny sat by a hollow log, admiring the beauty of the forest, when a sleek, red fox appeared. "Don't be afraid," the fox said with a sly smile. "I am the forest's silent hunter, and I too have something to teach you." Benny watched as the fox darted gracefully through the underbrush. The fox explained the balance between predators and prey, showing how hunting helped keep the ecosystem in balance. "We all play our part, Benny," the fox said. "Sometimes, survival means understanding the cycle of life." Each day, Benny returned to the forest, and each day, a new animal had a new lesson to share. From the hard-working beavers building dams to the delicate butterflies migrating across fields, Benny learned that every creature had a story. Through his new friendships with the animals, Benny discovered the interconnectedness of life. The forest was more than just a place to explore. It was a living, breathing world full of teachers. And Benny, the boy who could speak with animals, was their eager student.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the land on gentle feet.
It all began one quiet afternoon when Maya and Max were playing in their grandfather's dusty attic. Hidden beneath an old wooden chest, they found a strange, golden hourglass. Its glass gleamed, and instead of sand, tiny sparks of light floated between the top and bottom chambers. Curious, Maya picked it up, turning it over in her hands. "What do you think it does?" Max asked, peering over her shoulder. Before Maya could answer, the attic seemed to spin, and the room around them vanished. Suddenly, they found themselves in a strange land, surrounded by enormous stone pyramids. The hourglass, it seemed, had the power to transport them through time. As Maya and Max gazed at the grand pyramids of Giza, they realized they had traveled back thousands of years to ancient Egypt. The sun blazed down on them, and nearby, they saw workers hauling massive stone blocks. A tall figure approached them, adorned in golden robes and jewels, a scribe who was tasked with recording Egypt's history. "Who are you?" the scribe asked, his eyes narrowing. We're just visitors," Max stammered. Maya, thinking quickly, asked about the pyramids and learned about the Egyptians' perseverance in building them over many years. They marveled at how these people, without modern tools, had created one of the 7 wonders of the world. As the twins wandered further into the Egyptian city, they noticed how hard the people worked, even in the scorching heat. From stone cutters to scribes, each person played a role in the success of their civilization. The lesson became clear to Maya and Max. Great things could be achieved through dedication and perseverance. Before they could learn more, the hourglass began to glow again. Maya turned it over, and just like that, they were whisked away to another time and place. When the spinning stopped, the twins found themselves standing in the middle of a dense jungle, surrounded by towering ferns and giant trees. A loud roar echoed through the air, and both Maya and Max froze in place. They had traveled millions of years into the past, to the time of the dinosaurs. They hid behind a large rock as a massive T-Rex stomped past them. "Maybe we should go back now," Max whispered, his face pale. But Maya, always the brave one, wanted to stay longer. They crept through the jungle, discovering different species of dinosaurs and learning about how creatures adapted to their environment. After narrowly escaping the jaws of a dinosaur, the hourglass glowed again, and this time they found themselves in a dusty workshop filled with strange inventions. A man with a long beard and intense eyes worked feverishly on a sketch. It was Leonardo da Vinci, the famous Renaissance inventor. Da Vinci welcomed them with a warm smile and showed them his drawings of flying machines, bridges, and more. He explained that his inventions often took years to perfect, but his passion for learning and creating kept him going. Maya and Max were inspired by his dedication and creativity, realizing that even the greatest minds face challenges. In the next blink of an eye, the twins were transported to ancient China, standing before the towering Great Wall. Soldiers marched along the wall, guarding their empire from invaders. A general greeted them and explained how the wall, which stretched for thousands of miles, had been built over centuries to protect the Chinese people. Max was in awe of the scale of the project, while Maya admired the strategic thinking behind it. They learned that some of the greatest accomplishments in history were born from necessity and a desire to protect one's people. The hourglass glowed again, signaling their next journey. The spinning sensation returned, and this time, Maya and Max found themselves in an old observatory. A man with a telescope was staring intently at the stars, muttering to himself. It was Galileo Galilei, the famous astronomer who had discovered moons orbiting Jupiter and supported the idea that the Earth revolved around the sun. Galileo welcomed the twins, letting them peer through his telescope. He explained how difficult it was to challenge accepted beliefs, but he persisted in his pursuit of truth. Maya and Max learned the importance of questioning the world around them and seeking knowledge. The twins found themselves in a sandy field in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. 2 brothers, Orville and Wilbur Wright, were preparing to witness the first powered flight in history. As the Wright brothers' plane lifted into the air, the twins watched in awe. It was a moment of pure innovation and boldness. The brothers taught them that with the right combination of skill and determination, anything was possible. Inspired by the flight, Maya and Max felt more excited than ever about where their next adventure might take them. In the next blink of an eye, Maya and Max stood among the ruins of a once great city, ancient Rome. They wandered through the crumbling buildings and empty streets, hearing stories of how the mighty Roman Empire fell due to internal struggles, corruption, and constant invasions. As they explored the fallen empire, they realized that even the greatest civilizations must learn from their mistakes. The lesson of Rome was clear. Leadership, unity, and adaptability were critical for any society to thrive. The twins found themselves in a noisy, bustling city full of factories and steam-powered machines. They had arrived in the Industrial Revolution, where inventors like James Watt and George Stephenson were transforming the world with new technologies. The air was thick with smoke, but the energy of the era was infectious. Maya and Max learned how the steam engine revolutionized transportation and industry, making the world smaller and more connected. They marveled at the innovation and hard work that had gone into building this new world. But they also saw the importance of balancing progress with care for people and the environment.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the lilac on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the lilac on gentle feet.
Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a magical forest known only to those who believed in its mysteries. This was no ordinary forest. The trees whispered ancient wisdom, and the streams sparkled with secrets of ages past. In this forest, each path led to a new adventure, and every encounter revealed a lesson, ready to be learned. Deep in the heart of the Enchanted Forest lived creatures unlike any others. Wise, mystical beings who understood the secrets of life and were always eager to share their knowledge with those who visited. One bright morning, a young girl named Lily, full of curiosity and wonder, ventured into the forest. She had heard stories about this place from her grandmother, who said that those who entered would leave with more than they expected. With every step Lily took, she felt the magic in the air, the ground humming softly beneath her feet. It wasn't long before she encountered her first guide, a tall, shimmering deer named Eldra, whose antlers glowed like starlight. "Welcome, Lily," Eldra said in a voice as soft as the wind through the trees. "You have entered the Enchanted Forest, where every creature you meet will teach you a valuable lesson." As Eldra led Lily through the forest, they came across a group of colorful birds perched on a tree. Each bird chirped in perfect harmony, creating a melody that seemed to float on the breeze. "Do you hear their song?" Eldra asked. "These birds sing in harmony because they respect one another's space and time to contribute. It's important to respect others, for every voice has its part in the music of life." Lily listened closely to the birds, noticing how each waited for its turn to sing. "If one of them tries to sing too loud or too fast, it ruins the melody," Lily said thoughtfully. Eldra nodded approvingly. "That's right, Lily. Respect is about knowing when to listen and when to speak, and allowing others to shine in their own time." Further along the path, Lily noticed a squirrel scurrying to and from a large oak tree, carrying acorns in its tiny paws. "Why is the squirrel working so hard?" she asked. Eldra explained, "That squirrel is preparing for winter. It's his responsibility to gather enough food to survive the cold months. Responsibility means taking care of the things you must do, even when they are difficult or tiring." Lily watched as the squirrel tirelessly gathered its food. "If he doesn't do this now, he won't have enough to eat later, will he?" she asked. Eldra smiled. "Exactly. Being responsible means thinking ahead and doing what's right, even when it's not easy. It's a lesson we all must learn." As they walked deeper into the forest, the path led to a crystal-clear stream. There, a wise old turtle named Turan sat quietly by the water's edge. "Why is he just sitting there, doing nothing?" Lily wondered aloud. Sometimes, patience is the greatest lesson of all, Eldra said. Turon slowly opened his eyes and smiled. Young one, everything in life takes time, he said. Look at the stream. The water doesn't rush. It flows steadily, and over time, it carves even the hardest stone. Patience is about trusting the process and understanding that good things come to those who wait. Just past the stream, Lily spotted a small rabbit trapped under a fallen branch. Without thinking twice, she ran over and gently lifted the branch, freeing the frightened creature. There you go, little one, she said, smiling. Eldra looked at her warmly. That, Lily, was an act of kindness. In this forest, kindness is the most powerful magic of all. As the rabbit hopped away, Eldra continued, kindness is a gift you can give freely. Whether big or small, every kind act brightens someone else's day and often comes back to you when you need it most. As the day began to fade into twilight, Lily noticed two foxes quarreling near a tree. They barked and snapped at each other, their disagreement growing louder. Eldra stepped forward and said calmly, Foxes, what is this about? One fox growled, He took my berry. The other retorted, I didn't mean to. I thought it was mine. Lily knelt down between them and said softly, Sometimes mistakes happen. Maybe instead of fighting, you can forgive each other and share the berry. The foxes paused, looked at each other, and then nodded. They split the berry in half, and the tension disappeared. Forgiveness is a powerful thing, Eldra said. It heals wounds and restores peace. It's not always easy, but it is always worth it. And so, each step Lily took in the Enchanted Forest led her to a new creature and a new life lesson. From the bees that taught her about teamwork, to the owls that shared the wisdom of knowledge, and the butterflies that spoke of embracing change, every encounter made Lily wiser. The forest was alive with lessons, wrapped in the magic of nature and wonder. Over the course of 100 chapters, Lily would meet creatures who showed her the value of honesty, the courage to face fears, the strength found in unity, and the joy that comes from gratitude. Each day, the forest revealed a new mystery and a new piece of wisdom, and Lily's heart grew fuller with every lesson she learned. In the end, as Lily prepared to leave the Enchanted Forest, Eldra stood beside her. You've learned so much, young one, the deer said. But remember, these lessons are not just for the forest. They are for life. Carry them with you, and you will always find the magic in your own world. Lily smiled, her heart glowing with the warmth of all she had experienced. She waved goodbye to her enchanted friends, knowing that the forest would always be there, waiting for those who sought its wisdom. And so, with her head filled with dreams and her heart filled with lessons, Lily returned home, ready to live her life with kindness, patience, responsibility, and love. For she had learned that in the Enchanted Forest, and in life, every moment is an opportunity to grow.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drifting to the lilac on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told.
Oliver and the Secret Science Society. Oliver had always been a quiet, shy boy. While other kids at school played games and chatted in groups, Oliver found solace in his books. He especially loved reading about science, planets, animals, and how things worked. But even though he was fascinated by the mysteries of the universe, he never had the confidence to share this passion with others. That is, until one day, when something extraordinary happened. It was a chilly autumn afternoon. Oliver was walking home from school, his backpack heavy with books. He usually took the same path, but today something caught his eye. Tucked between the cracks of the old brick wall near the playground was a small, shiny envelope with his name on it, Oliver. Curiosity piqued. Oliver quickly looked around to see if anyone had dropped it, but the street was empty. With trembling hands, he opened the envelope, and inside was a handwritten note. Dear Oliver, we've been watching you. You have a brilliant mind, and we need you for something special. Meet us tonight in the old library basement at 7 p.m. sharp. There, you'll discover the Secret Science Society. P.S. Keep this a secret. Oliver's heart raced. The old library basement? No one went there anymore. It was dusty, dark, and abandoned. But the note was clear. This was an invitation just for him. Could it be real? And who was we? Despite his usual caution, Oliver's curiosity got the best of him. At exactly 7 p.m., he stood outside the library, the wind gently rustling the leaves around him. Gathering his courage, he stepped inside and made his way to the basement stairs. The basement was just as dark and musty as Oliver had imagined. He hesitated at the top of the staircase, but then a faint light appeared at the bottom. Cautiously, he descended the steps, and as he reached the bottom, he gasped. The basement was transformed. In the center of the room stood a large, glowing table covered in beakers, tubes, and strange contraptions. Around it were children his age, all wearing lab coats and goggles. They looked up as he entered. "Welcome, Oliver," said a tall girl with dark hair tied back in a ponytail. "I'm Sophia, and this is the Secret Science Society. We've been waiting for you." Oliver's mouth went dry. "How did you why me?" "We've seen your interest in science," Sophia said with a grin. "You're one of us, and now that you're here, we can start our real work. In this club, we don't just learn about science. We live it. Every experiment we do teaches us something about the world, but there's magic in it, too. Magic that helps us explore the secrets of the universe." Oliver blinked. Magic. This was more than he had ever expected. But before he could ask any more questions, a boy with a mop of curly hair stepped forward. "I'm Max," he said. "Tonight's experiment is about chemistry. We're going to make our own invisible ink using science." Max led Oliver to the experiment table, where bottles of clear liquids were lined up. "We're going to mix these ingredients to make invisible ink," Max explained. "Then, we'll reveal the writing using heat. It's the perfect way to pass secret messages." Oliver was intrigued. He had read about invisible ink before, but had never tried it himself. The group gathered around as Max mixed lemon juice with water and handed Oliver a small paintbrush. "Write something on this piece of paper," Max instructed. Oliver dipped the brush into the mixture and carefully wrote, "Hello, Science Society." At first, the paper looked blank, but then, Sophia brought out a candle and gently waved it under the paper. Slowly, the letters began to appear, dark and clear, and Oliver's eyes widened in amazement. "How did that work?" Sophia smiled. "It's all about chemistry. The heat causes the lemon juice to oxidize, making the writing visible. Science can be as magical as it is practical." Oliver felt a spark of excitement. This wasn't just learning from a book. This was real, hands-on science. The following week, Oliver couldn't wait for the next meeting. This time, the topic was physics. Sophia greeted him at the door with a mischievous grin. "Today we're going to defy gravity," she said. The group gathered around the table once more, where a large glass of water and a raw egg sat waiting. Sophia explained that they were going to make the egg float in water using only a little science magic. "Is that possible?" Oliver asked, skeptical. "It is if you understand the principles of buoyancy and density," Sophia replied. She grabbed a container of salt and began pouring it into the water. After a few stirs, she carefully lowered the egg into the glass. To Oliver's surprise, the egg floated to the top. "See," Max said, "the salt increases the density of the water, making the egg more buoyant. It's all about understanding how things interact with the forces around them." Oliver was fascinated. Each experiment seemed to unlock a new way of seeing the world. One clear night, the group gathered outdoors for their next lesson, astronomy. Max set up a large telescope in the middle of the park. "We're going to look at Saturn's rings tonight," he said excitedly. Oliver peered through the telescope, his heart pounding with anticipation. When he focused on the distant planet, he couldn't believe his eyes. There, floating in the dark sky, was Saturn, with its magnificent rings glowing faintly. "How can something so far away look so close?" Oliver asked. "It's all thanks to light and lenses," Max explained. "Telescopes magnify distant objects, bringing them into view. Astronomy lets us explore the universe, even from here on Earth." As Oliver stared at the stars, he realized how much there was to learn, both about the world and beyond it. Back in the basement, the group turned their attention to biology. This time, the experiment involved a balloon, a bottle, and yeast. Sophia explained they were going to learn about how living organisms can create gas. They added yeast and sugar to the bottle, then stretched a balloon over the top. After a few minutes, the balloon began to inflate on its own. "This is biology in action," Sophia said. "The yeast is a living organism. When it eats the sugar, it produces carbon dioxide, which inflates the balloon." Oliver watched in awe as the balloon grew bigger. It was amazing how something so small, like yeast, could create such a powerful reaction. One of Oliver's favorite experiments came from their lesson on magnetism. Max had created a maze out of cardboard, and the challenge was to move a metal ball through it without touching the ball. "How?" Oliver asked. "With magnets," Max said, holding up a small but powerful magnet. He placed the ball at the start of the maze and held the magnet underneath the cardboard. To Oliver's delight, the ball moved as if by magic, following the magnet's pull. "It's all about magnetic force," Sophia explained. "Magnets create an invisible field that can attract certain metals. It's a fun way to understand the invisible forces all around us." Oliver couldn't believe how much fun learning could be. Next, the club explored the concept of time. Max brought out a water clock, a simple device that used water to measure the passing of time. "We're going to build our own water clocks today," Max said. "It's one of the oldest ways humans measured time before modern clocks." With tubes and beakers, the group set up their water clocks and timed how long it took for water to flow from one container to another. Oliver marveled at how something as simple as water could measure time. "It's amazing how people figured this out," Oliver said. "That's what science is about," Sophia replied. "It's about using the world around us to understand the universe." The most electrifying lesson came when the club explored electricity. Max had brought in a simple circuit with a battery, wires, and a light bulb. "Today we're going to create our own light," he said. Oliver carefully connected the wires to the battery and the bulb, and when he finished, the bulb flickered on, casting a warm glow around the room. "It works!" Oliver exclaimed. "That's the power of electricity," Sophia said. "It flows through the wires, creating energy that lights up the bulb. With science, we can harness the forces of nature." After months of experiments, Oliver had grown more confident and excited about science. For the final meeting of the year, Sophia and Max had a special surprise. "We're going to combine everything we've learned," Sophia announced. The club set up a grand experiment that involved chemistry, physics, and even a bit of astronomy. Using everything they had learned, they created a small model of a solar system, complete with glowing planets, floating stars, and a spinning sun. As Oliver watched the model come to life, he realized how much he had learned not just about science, but about himself. That night, as he walked home, Oliver felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He had found friends, explored the wonders of science, and unlocked a world of imagination he never knew existed. The secret science society had shown him that the universe was full of magic rooted in knowledge and discovery, and he couldn't wait for the next adventure.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet. Drift into la land on gentle feet. 'Cause 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 Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drift into the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drift into the land on gentle feet.
Zara and the School of Dreams. Zara stared out of her bedroom window, watching the clouds drift lazily across the blue sky. Ever since she could remember, she'd been fascinated by clouds, the way they seemed soft and fluffy, floating above the world, always out of reach. It was her secret wish to one day touch them, to step onto one and discover where they led. Little did she know, her wish was about to come true. One evening, after dinner, Zara found a strange envelope on her desk. It wasn't ordinary paper. It shimmered as if made of pure silver, with her name written in a swirling, golden script, Zara of Earth, an invitation to the School of Dreams. Her heart raced with excitement. The School of Dreams? What was this? As she opened the envelope, a misty cloud floated out, wrapping around her like a warm breeze. Before she could blink, Zara was lifted off her feet, soaring into the night sky. The world below shrank, and the stars above twinkled as if winking at her. She felt a strange yet wonderful pull toward the clouds, and as they opened up before her, she found herself standing at the grand gates of the School of Dreams. It was breathtaking, an enormous castle-like structure floating among the clouds, with towers spiraling into the sky and bridges connecting glowing islands. The air was filled with the scent of fresh air and the soft hum of magic. A voice echoed through the sky. "Welcome, Zara. You have been chosen to attend the School of Dreams, where knowledge becomes adventure and dreams turn into reality." With a heart full of wonder, Zara stepped through the gates, ready for the journey of a lifetime. Zara's first day at the School of Dreams was like nothing she had ever imagined. She walked into her first class, math. But instead of desks and chalkboards, she found herself standing in the middle of a vast sky, surrounded by shimmering, floating numbers. The numbers weren't just symbols on a page. They were alive. They danced, twirled, and soared through the air like stars. A gentle voice greeted her. "Welcome, Zara. In this class, numbers are more than just digits. They are the key to unlocking the mysteries of the universe." Suddenly, a large, glowing number 7 floated in front of her. It circled her playfully, and Zara reached out to touch it. As her fingers brushed against it, the number burst into 1,000 tiny stars that lit up the sky around her. "Whoa!" Zara gasped, her eyes wide with wonder. The voice continued. "Here, you'll learn to see the world through numbers. Watch as they shape the clouds, build the bridges of the sky, and even create patterns in the stars." As Zara spent the day exploring the sky full of numbers, she began to understand their magic. She saw how numbers were everywhere, in the way the clouds formed, the way the wind moved, and even in the rhythm of her own heartbeat. Each number had its own personality, its own story to tell. By the end of the class, Zara felt like she had become friends with numbers. They were no longer just something to memorize. They were a part of the world around her. As she left, she couldn't wait to see what the next class would bring. The next morning, Zara found herself standing in front of a door labeled Science. She took a deep breath and stepped inside, unsure of what to expect. The room was empty at first, but as she walked forward, the floor beneath her began to shift and change. Suddenly, she was shrinking smaller and smaller. until she found herself standing inside a giant, glowing cell. "Welcome to the world of life, Zara," a soft voice said. "Here, you will explore the building blocks of every living thing." Zara gazed in awe at her surroundings. She could see the cell membrane, the nucleus, and even tiny mitochondria buzzing around like busy workers. She reached out to touch one, and it glowed warmly under her fingers. Inside every living thing are millions of tiny cells, each one working together to keep the body alive, the voice explained. "You're now small enough to explore them all." As Zara moved through the body cells, she learned about how they worked, how they carried oxygen, fought off infections, and created energy. She marveled at how every tiny part had a role to play, just like the numbers in the sky. Suddenly, Zara found herself inside a beating heart. She could hear the thump-thump of the blood rushing past her, and she felt the life coursing through the veins. It was incredible. By the end of the day, Zara had visited the lungs, the brain, and even the skin. She had learned how every part of the body worked together, like a well-oiled machine. Science was no longer just facts in a book. It was a living, breathing world all around her. Zara's next class was geography, and she couldn't wait to see what kind of adventure it would bring. When she entered the classroom, she found herself standing on top of a giant, floating map of the world. But this wasn't just any map. Every country, every ocean, and every mountain range was alive with color and movement. "Welcome to the world, Zara," the voice said. "In this class, the entire planet is your playground." Zara looked down at the map, and with a single step, she found herself standing on the peak of Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. The wind whipped through her hair, and she could see the clouds below her. She took another step and found herself in the Amazon rainforest, surrounded by towering trees and the sound of birds singing. A river rushed past her, and she could feel the humidity in the air. "Geography is more than just places on a map," the voice explained. "It's the land, the people, the animals, and the stories that shape our world." Zara traveled from the Sahara Desert to the icy tundras of Antarctica. She stood on the Great Wall of China, explored the coral reefs of Australia, and even floated in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Each place had its own unique beauty, its own story to tell. By the time the class was over, Zara felt like she had seen the entire world. She had learned that geography wasn't just about memorizing capitals and countries. It was about understanding the Earth and its incredible diversity. On her third day at the School of Dreams, Zara entered the language class, curious to see what adventure awaited her. To her surprise, the classroom was filled with stars, glowing, twinkling, and shimmering all around her. Each star had a word written on it, in different languages from all over the world. "Language is the key to understanding one another, Zara," the voice said. "Here, you will learn the language of the stars." Zara reached out and touched a star that had the word love written on it. As soon as she did, she heard the word spoken in dozens of languages. Asterisk, amor, asterisk. Amor, liba, sinta ishq. Each word sounded different, but they all meant the same thing. "Words are powerful," the voice continued. "They can connect people across distances, across cultures, and even across time." Zara spent the rest of the day learning new words from the stars, each one sparkling with meaning. She discovered how words could express feelings, tell stories, and build bridges between people. Language was no longer just letters on a page. It was a way to connect with the world. Zara's next adventure took her to the art class, and as soon as she entered, she found herself floating among the clouds. But these weren't ordinary clouds. They were swirling with colors, shapes, and patterns. Each cloud seemed to be its own masterpiece, painted by an invisible hand. "Art is the expression of imagination, Zara," the voice said. "Here, you will create with the clouds." Zara reached out to a nearby cloud and watched in amazement as her fingers turned the fluffy white mass into a beautiful painting of a sunset. She moved her hands through the air, and the clouds followed, creating stunning scenes of forests, oceans, and starry nights. As she painted, Zara felt a sense of freedom. There were no rules in this class, only the limits of her imagination. She could create anything she dreamed of, and the clouds would bring it to life. By the end of the day, Zara had created an entire gallery of cloud art, each piece more beautiful than the last. She had learned that art wasn't just about drawing or painting. It was about expressing her own unique vision of the world. The next morning, Zara entered the music class, where the air was filled with a gentle breeze that carried soft melodies. As she stepped forward, she realized that the wind itself was playing music. Music is the language of the soul, Zara, the voice said. Here, you will learn to create harmony with the wind. Zara closed her eyes and let the wind guide her. As it swirled around her, she began to hear the sounds of instruments, flutes, violins, and drums, all blending together in a beautiful symphony. With a wave of her hand, she could change the tempo, the rhythm, and the melody. The wind responded to her movements, creating music that filled the sky with rich, vibrant sounds. She felt like a conductor, guiding the wind to create songs of joy, peace, and wonder. The melodies echoed through the clouds, making the whole world feel alive with sound. Zara realized that music wasn't just something to listen to. It was something to create, to feel, and to share with others. She left the class with a new understanding.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to la land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the land on gentle feet.
The Global Adventures of Poo the Parrot. In the heart of a bustling tropical rainforest, there lived a bright green parrot named Poo. He was no ordinary parrot. Poo could talk, and not just in his native language. He loved learning new words and phrases, mimicking everything from human conversations to the songs of other animals. But Poo had a big dream. He wanted to see the world. Every day, Poo would perch on a high branch and listen to the tales of the migrating birds flying overhead. They spoke of far-off lands with snowy mountains, vast deserts, bustling cities, and strange new creatures. Poo's heart fluttered with excitement at the thought of visiting these places. He longed to fly across oceans, visit different countries, and learn about new cultures, animals, and languages. One sunny morning, after the birds had once again filled the air with their exciting stories, Poo decided it was time. He flapped his wings and took off into the sky, ready to begin his great adventure. "Goodbye, rainforest," he squawked. "The world is waiting for me." Poo's first destination was not too far from home, Brazil. He had always heard amazing things about the Amazon rainforest, the largest in the world. As he soared over the dense canopy, Poo marveled at the endless sea of green below him. The forest buzzed with life. Monkeys swung from trees. Jaguars prowled silently, and colorful birds like himself chirped and sang. Poo landed by the banks of the Amazon River, where he met a friendly capybara. "Hello," said Poo. "I'm Poo the parrot, and I'm here to learn about your home." The capybara smiled. Welcome to Brazil. Won't find anywhere else, like the pink river dolphin and the poison dart frog. Peepo was amazed. As he flew through the trees, he learned the names of countless animals in Portuguese, Brazil's official language, and even picked up a few new phrases. The people he met were kind and welcoming, teaching him about their festivals like Carnival, where the streets filled with dancing, music, and colorful costumes. When it was time to leave, Peepo thanked his new friends and soared into the sky again, eager for his next adventure. Peepo flew across the vast Atlantic Ocean, his wings gliding through the warm air as he made his way to his next destination, Egypt, the land of ancient pyramids and golden deserts. As he approached, he saw the towering pyramids of Giza rising from the sands, their shapes casting long shadows in the evening sun. Landing by the mighty Nile River, Peepo met a young camel named Saba. "Welcome to Egypt, Peepo," said Saba. "Would you like to see the pyramids up close?" Together, they walked through the desert sands, and Peepo marveled at the ancient structures. "These pyramids are over 4,000 years old," explained Saba. "They were built to honor the pharaohs, our ancient kings." As the two explored, Peepo learned some Arabic phrases like shukran, thank you, and salam, hello. He also discovered the importance of the Nile River, which had supported Egyptian civilization for thousands of years, providing water and fertile land in the middle of the dry desert. Before flying off to his next destination, Peepo soared over the Nile, watching the sun set behind the pyramids, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. Peepo's next flight took him far north, where the climate changed drastically. As he entered Russia, the warm sun he had enjoyed in Brazil and Egypt gave way to a cold, snowy landscape. Flapping his wings, Peepo shivered but continued on, determined to see this new part of the world. He soon arrived in Moscow, where he was greeted by a wise old owl named Boris. "Welcome to Russia, my feathered friend," said Boris, his voice deep and slow. "Here you will see grand palaces, snowy forests, and experience our long, cold winters." Peepo was fascinated by the majestic architecture of St. Basil's Cathedral, with its colorful, onion-shaped domes. Boris told him stories of Russian history, from tsars to revolutionaries, and even recited some Russian poetry. Peepo picked up some Russian words like spasibo, thank you, and privet, hello, and he learned about Russian traditions such as storytelling and the grand ballet performances. Though the cold air nipped at his feathers, Peepo was enchanted by the snowy beauty of the land. He realized how different each country could be, and how each culture had its own special magic. Next, Peepo set his sights on Asia, flying toward the vast and diverse land of China. As he approached, he marveled at the Great Wall of China, snaking across the mountains like a giant stone dragon. Landing on one of its ancient towers, Peepo was greeted by a friendly panda named May. "Welcome to China, Peepo," May said with a grin. "You've arrived just in time for the Lantern Festival." Excited, Peepo followed May to a nearby village, where the streets were alive with color. Red lanterns hung from every building, and the night sky was filled with the soft glow of thousands of floating lights. Peepo was amazed by the beauty of the festival, the vibrant colors, and the joy of the people. As they wandered through the streets, Peepo learned some Chinese words like "and hao," hello, and "xie xie," thank you. May also taught him about China's history, its ancient dynasties, and its incredible inventions like paper and the compass. Peepo's heart swelled with happiness as he watched the lanterns float into the night sky, carrying wishes and dreams into the stars. He had learned so much in China, but he knew there were still many more places to explore. Peepo's wings carried him south, to the open grasslands of Kenya. As he flew over the vast savannas, he saw herds of elephants, zebras, and giraffes roaming freely. The air was warm and dry, and the golden grass stretched as far as the eye could see. He landed next to a watering hole, where he met a young lion cub named Simba. "Jambo, welcome to Kenya," Simba roared with excitement. "Would you like to explore the savannah with me?" Together, Peepo and Simba ventured across the plains, meeting animals of all shapes and sizes. Peepo learned about the Maasai people, their vibrant culture, and their deep respect for the land and its animals. He also picked up a few Swahili phrases like Hakuna Matata, no worries, and Asante, thank you. As the sun set over the savannah, painting the sky in brilliant shades of orange and red, Peepo realized just how beautiful and diverse the world truly was. From the towering pyramids of Egypt to the open plains of Kenya, every place he visited was full of wonder and excitement. Peepo's journey next took him to the southern hemisphere, to the land down under Australia. Flying over the turquoise waters of the Pacific Ocean, Peepo marveled at the sparkling beauty below. He had heard of the Great Barrier Reef, and now he was about to see it for himself. Diving down to the water's surface, Peepo met a friendly sea turtle named Tilly. "Day, Peepo," she said, her voice bubbling with enthusiasm. "Welcome to the Great Barrier Reef. Come, let me show you the wonders of the deep." Peepo followed Tilly through a dazzling underwater world, where vibrant coral reefs teemed with life. Schools of fish darted between the corals, their scales flashing in every color of the rainbow. Peepo was in awe of the beauty and diversity of the creatures that lived in the reef. As they swam, Tilly taught Peepo about Australia's unique wildlife, like kangaroos, koalas, and the mysterious platypus. Peepo also picked up some Australian slang like mate and G-day. By the time Peepo flew back up into the sky, he felt a deep appreciation for the wonders of the ocean and the importance of protecting such a fragile ecosystem. Feeling the warmth of the sun again, Peepo returned to South America, this time landing in the lively city of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He had heard tales of a grand celebration called Carnival, and he couldn't wait to see it for himself. As he flew into the city, the streets were alive with color and music. People danced in vibrant costumes. Parades filled the avenues, and the sound of samba drums echoed through the air. Peepo landed on a street lamp, where he was joined by a colorful macaw named Rio. "Welcome to Carnival, Peepo. Rio Shirpet. This is the biggest celebration in Brazil, and it's all about joy, music, and togetherness." Peepo's heart raced with excitement as he watched the parades go by, the dancers twirling in their shimmering costumes. He learned about the importance of cultural celebrations and how they bring people together. From the sparkling Amazon to the carnival-filled streets of Rio, Peepo discovered how every country he visited had its own magic, beauty, and wisdom to offer. Each experience brought new friends, new languages, and new lessons about the diversity and unity of the world. As Peepo soared back into the sky, his heart was full, knowing his adventures had only just begun.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to la land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to la land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the la land on gentle feet.
Ellie had always been curious. She loved to explore, ask questions, and most of all, read. Every day after school, she would visit her local library, where the smell of old books and the quiet whispers of turning pages felt like home. She had read hundreds of stories and learned about faraway lands, brave adventurers, and strange creatures. But nothing had prepared her for what was about to happen. One chilly autumn afternoon, Ellie took a different path home. The leaves crunched beneath her feet as she wandered down a cobbled street she'd never noticed before. The street was lined with ancient-looking houses, each one with windows framed by ivy. At the very end of the street, tucked between two towering oak trees, was a building she had never seen. A small, dusty library with a wooden sign that read, "The Magical Library." Curiosity bubbled up inside her. "A magical library?" she whispered. Without hesitation, she pushed open the creaky door and stepped inside. The library was much larger on the inside than it looked from the outside. Endless rows of towering bookshelves stretched high into the air, disappearing into the shadows above. The walls were lined with lanterns that gave off a warm, golden light. There was a peculiar smell in the air, like cinnamon and parchment. Ellie wandered deeper into the library. She noticed that the books on the shelves were unlike any she had seen before. The covers shimmered and shifted as if they were alive. She reached out and touched one. It was soft, like velvet, and the title glowed as she ran her fingers across it. "The Wonders of the Natural World." Suddenly, a voice behind her said, I see you found our special collection." Ellie spun around to find an elderly man with kind eyes and a bushy white beard standing behind the counter. He was dressed in a long, burgundy robe, and his glasses perched at the end of his nose. "I'm Mr. Halloway, the librarian," he said with a smile. "Welcome to the Magical Library. Every book here is more than just words on a page. Each one is a journey, a mystery waiting to be solved." "A mystery?" Ellie asked, her curiosity piqued. Mr. Halloway nodded. "Yes, and each one has something to teach you. But be warned, once you open a book, the adventure begins, and you must solve the mystery before you can return." Ellie's heart raced with excitement. "I'd love to try." Mr. Halloway's eyes twinkled. "Very well. Choose your first book." Ellie looked around and finally picked a book from the shelf. It had a beautiful cover, shimmering with colors she had never seen before. The title read, "The Lost Kingdom of the Animals." She opened the book, and before she knew it, the room began to swirl. The shelves disappeared, the floor vanished, and Ellie felt herself being pulled into the pages of the book. When Ellie opened her eyes, she was no longer in the library. She was standing in the middle of a lush forest, surrounded by towering trees and the sounds of animals. Birds chirped, and somewhere in the distance, she heard the roar of a waterfall. "Where am I?" she wondered aloud. A soft voice replied, "You're in the Lost Kingdom, of course." Ellie turned to see a large, wise-looking owl perched on a branch above her. Its golden eyes blinked slowly as it stared down at her. "I'm Oliver," the owl said. "I'm here to help you solve the mystery of the Lost Kingdom." Ellie was amazed. An owl that could talk? She was definitely in a magical place. "What mystery?" she asked. "The kingdom has lost its leader," Oliver explained. "The animals are in disarray, and the balance of nature is threatened. It's up to you to find the missing leader and restore harmony to the kingdom." Ellie nodded, determined. "Where do I start?" Oliver flapped his wings and glided down to the forest floor. "Follow me." As they walked through the forest, Oliver explained that the Lost Kingdom had once been ruled by a wise and just lion, King Rayleos. But one day, he vanished without a trace. Since then, the animals have been searching for him, but to no avail. Ellie and Oliver trekked through the dense forest, crossing streams and climbing over moss-covered rocks. They encountered various animals along the way, deer, foxes, and even a family of rabbits, but no one had seen the lion. Ellie began to wonder if they would ever find him. Then, as they reached the edge of the forest, they came upon a clearing. In the center of the clearing was a large stone with strange symbols carved into it. The stone seemed to hum with energy. Oliver landed on the stone and said, "This is the Stone of Secrets. It is said to hold the key to finding King Rayleos, but only those with a pure heart can unlock its mystery." Ellie approached the stone, her hand trembling with excitement. She placed her palm on the smooth surface and closed her eyes. Suddenly, the symbols on the stone began to glow, and a voice echoed in her mind. "Seek the truth, trust your heart, and the path will be revealed." When she opened her eyes, a glowing path of light stretched before her, leading deeper into the forest. Without hesitation, she and Oliver followed the path. The glowing path led them to a rushing river that sparkled like liquid silver. Across the river was a cave, dark and foreboding, with strange markings around its entrance. "This is the Enchanted River," Oliver said. "It's said that only those who are brave and clever can cross it." Ellie studied the river. There was no bridge, and the water looked too deep to wade through. She noticed several large stepping stones jutting out of the water, but they seemed to shift and move as the current flowed. "Looks like a puzzle," Ellie said, smiling to herself. She loved puzzles. As she watched the stones, she realized that they followed a pattern. Every few seconds, they aligned perfectly, creating a safe path across the river, if she timed it just right. Taking a deep breath, Ellie waited for the stones to line up. Then, with quick, careful steps, she hopped from one stone to the next. Oliver flew overhead, offering encouragement. "Almost there," he called as Ellie reached the last stone. With one final leap, Ellie made it to the other side of the river, her heart racing with triumph. They approached the cave entrance, and Ellie felt a sense of anticipation. She was getting closer to solving the mystery. Inside the cave, the air was cool and damp. The walls were lined with strange crystals that glowed faintly, casting an eerie light. As they ventured deeper into the cave, they came upon a large mirror set into the stone wall. "This is the mirror of reflections," Oliver explained. "It reveals the truth, but only if you're willing to look inside yourself." Ellie stepped up to the mirror and gazed at her reflection. At first, she saw only herself, but then the image began to change. She saw moments from her life. Times when she had been brave, times when she had helped others, and times when she had been kind. The mirror spoke in a soft voice. "To find the king, you must first understand what makes a true leader." Ellie thought about it. A true leader wasn't just strong or powerful. They were wise, kind, and cared for those they led. King Rayleigh must have had these qualities. But why had he disappeared? Suddenly, the mirror shimmered, and a new image appeared. An image of the lion, King Rayleigh, sitting alone on a mountaintop, surrounded by clouds. He looked sad and tired, as if he had lost his way. Ellie gasped. "He's on the mountain. We have to find him." Oliver nodded. "The Mount of Clouds. That's where he went to seek answers." Without wasting any time, they left the cave and began their journey to the mountain. The Mount of Clouds was tall and steep, its peak hidden by swirling mists. Ellie and Oliver began the climb, the air growing thinner and colder as they ascended. Along the way, they encountered more animals, an eagle, a mountain goat, and even a family of snow leopards. Each animal shared stories of King Rayleigh and how much they missed his guidance. Finally, after hours of climbing, they reached the summit. There, sitting on a stone throne, was King Rayleigh. His golden mane was dull, and his eyes were filled with sadness. Ellie approached him cautiously. "King Rayleigh?" she asked softly. The lion looked up, surprised to see her. "Who are you?" he asked. "I'm Ellie," she said. "I've come to bring you back to your kingdom. The animals need you." King Rayleigh sighed. "I left because I felt I had failed them. A true leader should always know the right path, but I felt lost." Ellie shook her head. "No one always knows the right path. A true leader listens, learns, and cares. Your kingdom needs you, not because you're perfect, but because you're kind and wise." The lion's eyes softened. "Perhaps you're right," he said. "I've made a mistake by leaving, but with your help, I will return and lead them once again." Oliver, who had been quietly watching from a nearby branch, gave a hoot of approval. "That's the spirit, Your Majesty. The kingdom will rejoice at your return." Together, Ellie, Oliver, and King Rayleigh made their way down the mountain. As they reached the base, a great procession of animals gathered to greet King Rayleigh. Their faces were filled with hope and excitement. "My friends," King Rayleigh began, "I have been away for too long, but now I see that the answers I sought were with me all along, in your trust and in the bond we share." The animals cheered, and Ellie felt a warm glow inside her. She had helped the king find his way back, and now the kingdom was whole again. As King Rayleigh returned to his duties, Ellie realized it was time for her to leave. She looked up at Oliver, who nodded in understanding. "It's time to go, isn't it?" she asked. Oliver hooted softly. "Yes, you've solved the mystery and restored the kingdom. But don't worry, this is just the beginning of your adventures in a magical library." Ellie smiled as a soft wind swirled around her. The world began to shimmer and fade, just like it had when she first opened the book. The lost kingdom disappeared, and soon she was back in the library, standing before Mr. Halloway. Mr. Halloway smiled warmly. "Well done, Ellie. You've solved the first mystery and learned a valuable lesson about leadership and compassion." Ellie beamed with pride. "Thank you, Mr. Halloway. It was an incredible adventure. And it won't be your last," he said, gesturing to the rows of shimmering books that lined the shelves. "There are many more mysteries to explore, each with its own story, each with a lesson to teach." Ellie's eyes sparkled as she glanced around the library. She was filled with excitement at the thought of more adventures, more mysteries to solve, and more lessons to learn. "But remember," Mr. Halloway added, "these books only come to life for those who are truly curious and eager to learn. The library will always be here for you when you're ready for your next journey." Ellie nodded. "I'll be back soon." She left the magical library that day with a heart full of wonder and a mind buzzing with thoughts of the mysteries that still awaited her. As she walked home, she couldn't help but feel a new sense of confidence. She had helped restore a kingdom, solved a mystery, and learned that even when things seemed uncertain, there was always a way forward if you trusted your heart. Over the next few days, Ellie couldn't stop thinking about her adventure in the Lost Kingdom. Every time she passed a bookshelf at home, she imagined the books glowing and whispering stories, just like in the magical library. She wondered what other worlds were waiting to be discovered. One evening, after finishing her homework, she decided it was time to return. She made her way back down the cobbled street and pushed open the door to the magical library once again. Mr. Halloway was there, as always, smiling kindly. "Ready for another adventure?" Ellie grinned. "Absolutely." This time, she wandered the shelves for a long while, admiring the colorful, shifting covers of the books. She saw titles like The Secrets of the Ancient Ocean, The Journey Through the Stars, and The Hidden Wonders of the Rainforest. But one book in particular caught her eye. Its cover shimmered with silver and gold, and the title read, The Mystery of the Forgotten City. Ellie carefully pulled the book from the shelf and turned to Mr. Halloway. "I think I've found my next adventure." He nodded approvingly. "A fine choice. The Forgotten City holds many secrets. Good luck, Ellie." She opened the book, and once again, the world around her began to swirl. As she was pulled into the story, Ellie couldn't help but smile. She knew that no matter what mysteries awaited her, she would face them with courage, curiosity, and a heart ready to learn. The magical library had become Ellie's second home, a place where she could escape into new worlds, solve mysteries, and learn valuable lessons about life and science. Each adventure taught her something different, whether it was about leadership, friendship, problem-solving, or the wonders of the natural world. As she grew older, Ellie continued to visit the library, her thirst for knowledge and adventure never waning. The library had unlocked something special within her, a belief that no problem was too big to solve, no question too difficult to answer, as long as she stayed curious and open to the mysteries around her. And so, Ellie's journey through the magical library continued, one story at a time, each book opening a new door to a world of wonder, mystery, and endless possibilities.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to la land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the lilac on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold, tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the lilac on gentle feet.
Captain Theo and the science ship. It was a calm evening in the quiet harbor town of Seaside, where the soft sound of waves greeted Captain Theo as he stood by his ship. But this was no ordinary ship. It was a vessel built for a grand adventure across the vast seas of imagination. The ship gleamed with polished brass and wood, its sails rippling in the breeze, and at its heart was a secret engine powered by knowledge. Theo, with his trusty captain's hat and compass, was ready to embark on a journey like no other. Theo loved science. He was always curious, always asking questions. But this time, his curiosity had led him to the magical science ship, a vessel that could transport him to islands far beyond any map. Each island held a secret to a different science concept, and Theo couldn't wait to explore them all. Hoist the sails, we're setting off on a voyage of discovery, Theo declared to his shipmates, a crew of clever robots he had designed himself. With a whir of gears and a flutter of sails, the science ship set course for its first destination, the mysterious island of electricity. The journey to the island of electricity was smooth, but as the ship neared the shore, Theo noticed a strange buzzing sound in the air. The sky above the island crackled with energy, and the trees seemed to glow faintly. As Theo and his crew disembarked, he felt a tingle run through his fingertips. What is this place? Theo wondered aloud. Suddenly, a friendly local named Volt appeared, wearing a belt of wires and light bulbs. Welcome to the island of electricity. I can show you how power flows here. It's all about circuits. Volt led Theo to a workshop filled with wires, batteries, and tiny light bulbs. Electricity flows like a river, Volt explained. It needs a complete path, a circuit, to light things up. Theo watched in awe as Volt connected wires from a battery to a light bulb, creating a simple circuit. The bulb lit up immediately. Aha! The electricity flows through the wire, completing the circuit. Exactly, said Volt. And if you break the circuit, he disconnected the wire, and the light went out. The electricity stops. Theo spent hours learning how to build different types of circuits, parallel and series, closed and open. The science ship's hold was soon filled with new tools and gadgets powered by electricity, all thanks to what he learned on the island. Thank you, Volt, Theo said as the science ship sailed away. I can't wait to see what's next. The next stop was a place that rumbled and roared with natural power, Volcano Island. As the science ship approached, Captain Theo could see streams of lava glowing on the dark mountainside. The island was alive with the sound of eruptions, and smoke curled from the peak of the towering volcano at its center. Prepare for landing, crew, Theo called, his excitement bubbling over. He had always been fascinated by volcanoes. On the shore, a scientist named Magma greeted Theo. Welcome to Volcano Island. We study the Earth's most powerful forces here, volcanic eruptions and tectonic plates. Magma led Theo to the base of a volcano, where he explained how volcanoes form. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, there's molten rock called magma. When pressure builds up, the magma rises and bursts through the Earth's crust. That's what causes eruptions. Just as Magma finished speaking, the ground trembled, and the volcano let out a low, deep growl. Theo watched in awe as fiery lava spewed from the crater, flowing down the mountainside in glowing streams. Is it safe? Theo asked, a bit worried. Magma smiled. Don't worry. This is a controlled eruption. But eruptions like this are a reminder of the immense power beneath the Earth's surface. Tectonic plates move, shift, and collide, creating mountains, earthquakes, and, of course, volcanoes. Theo spent the day learning how volcanoes help shape the Earth's landscape. and even made a small model volcano of his own. By the time he left, he had a new respect for the power of nature. "Next stop," Theo said as the ship sailed away. "We head for the island of the stars, far from any coast, under a blanket of darkness." Captain Theo sailed toward a glittering island that twinkled with the light of 1,000 stars. The island of the stars was a place of wonder, where the night sky told ancient stories, and the mysteries of the universe unfolded with every gaze upward. As Theo and his crew docked, they were greeted by a wise old astronomer named Orion, who carried a telescope over his shoulder. "Welcome, Captain Theo. Here on the island of the stars, we study the night sky, learning about planets, stars, and galaxies far, far away." Orion guided Theo to an observatory perched high on a hill. Inside, the walls were covered in star charts and images of distant galaxies. Through the massive telescope, Theo saw the craters of the moon, the rings of Saturn, and even the glowing heart of the Milky Way. "Wow!" Theo gasped. "There's so much out there." Orion nodded. "The universe is vast, full of wonders we're still discovering. Stars are born, live, and eventually die, creating new elements that spread across space." Theo spent the night mapping constellations and learning how stars guide sailors across the sea. Before he left, Orion gave him a special compass that always pointed toward the North Star, Polaris. "May the stars always guide you," Orion said as the science ship sailed into the night. The science ship's next destination was filled with music and vibrations, the island of sound. As Theo approached, he could hear the rhythm of drums, the soft hum of strings, and the tinkling of chimes carried by the wind. On this island, sound wasn't just heard, it was felt. Theo was greeted by a sound engineer named Melody, who explained the science of sound waves. "Sound is all about vibrations," she said. "When something moves, it creates waves in the air, which travel to our ears, allowing us to hear." Melody led Theo to a music workshop, where instruments of all kinds, guitars, drums, flutes, were laid out. She plucked the string of a guitar, showing Theo how the string's vibration created a sound wave. "Different sounds have different frequencies," Melody explained. "That's why some notes are high and others are low." Theo experimented with the instruments, learning how sound waves could be manipulated by changing the pitch and volume. He even used a tuning fork to see how vibrations traveled through different materials. With his newfound understanding, Theo and his crew built a communication system on the science ship that used sound waves to send signals from one end of the ship to the other. Captain Theo's journey continued, and soon he reached the island of magnetism. The island seemed to hum with energy, and Theo noticed that metal objects on the ship were being pulled toward the shore as if by an invisible force. When he arrived, he was met by Magneto, a scientist who specialized in the study of magnets. "Welcome, Theo. On this island, we explore the wonders of magnetism, one of nature's hidden forces." Magneto handed Theo a magnet and pointed to a compass. Magnets have poles, north and south. They can attract or repel objects depending on how the poles are aligned. "It's how your compass finds the North Pole." Theo experimented with different types of magnets, learning how they could attract or repel depending on their orientation. He built simple electromagnets using a battery, wire, and nails, amazed at how electricity and magnetism were connected. Before leaving, Magneto showed Theo how Earth itself was like a giant magnet, with a magnetic field that protected the planet from solar winds. Next, Theo sailed to the dazzling island of light, where beams of color and brilliance illuminated everything. He was greeted by Prism, a scientist who specialized in optics. "Light is amazing," Prism said. "It can bend, reflect, and scatter. It's how we see everything around us." Prism led Theo to a crystal cave filled with rainbows. She explained how white light could split into all the colors of the rainbow through refraction. Theo learned about mirrors, lenses, and how light travels in straight lines. Theo used his newfound knowledge to adjust the ship's periscope, making it possible to see objects far across the horizon by bending light. The island of motion was full of energy and excitement. As Theo arrived, he saw pulleys, levers, and wheels spinning everywhere. Kinetic, the island's engineer, welcomed him with open arms. "Everything moves, Theo, and understanding motion helps us control machines and understand the world around us." Theo learned about forces, inertia, and acceleration. He saw how simple machines like pulleys and levers made work easier, and how forces like gravity and friction affected motion. Theo's next stop was the bubbling island of chemistry, where beakers, flasks, and strange liquids filled every corner. Chemist, the island scientist, introduced Theo to the elements and how they combine to form everything in the world. Everything is made of atoms, Chemist explained. When atoms bond, they create molecules, and that's chemistry. Theo learned how chemical reactions worked, from simple experiments like baking soda and vinegar to more complex ones involving the elements. He even created a few compounds of his own. Finally, Theo arrived at the lush and green island of biology, where life in all its forms thrived. Bio, the island's expert, showed Theo the wonders of plants, animals, and the human body. Life is everywhere, Bio said. From the tiniest bacteria to the tallest trees, biology teaches us how living things survive and evolve. Theo explored ecosystems, learned about cells and DNA, and even studied how the human body worked from the heart to the brain. As the science ship sailed away from the final island, Captain Theo stood at the helm, his mind filled with all the knowledge he had gained. Each island had taught him something new, and with every discovery his thirst for knowledge grew. Adventure and learning never end, Theo said, looking out at the horizon. And with that, the science ship sailed on, ready for the next great discovery.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to la land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the island on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the land on gentle feet.
Milo and the animal detectives. Milo was a curious little boy with a knack for solving mysteries. One sunny afternoon, as he explored his backyard, he stumbled upon a peculiar sight, a trail of colorful feathers leading into the woods. His heart raced with excitement. What could this mean? He wondered, his detective instincts kicking in. With a magnifying glass in hand, Milo followed the trail, noticing the intricate patterns of the feathers. I must investigate, he declared, tiptoeing through the bushes. The trail led him deeper into the woods, where he discovered a vibrant clearing filled with animals from all over the world. In the center of the clearing stood Orin, a wise old owl perched on a branch. "Welcome, young detective," he hooted. "We've been waiting for you. We need your help to solve a mystery." Milo's eyes widened. "What kind of mystery?" "Animals are disappearing from their homes, and we don't know why." Orin explained, his voice steady and calm. "We need someone with your skills to find out what's happening." Milo felt a surge of excitement. "I'd love to help. Where do we start?" "First, we must gather our team," Orin replied. "You'll need the help of some special animal detectives." As they spoke, a mischievous voice called out from the branches above. "Did someone say special?" "I'm Kiki, the clever monkey. I'm always ready for an adventure." Kiki swung down, landing gracefully beside Milo. "Nice to meet you, Kiki." Milo grinned. "Let's find out what's going on." The pair set off with Orin, traveling through the jungle where the first mystery awaited. As they arrived, they met a group of concerned animals. including a gentle tapir and a colorful toucan. "What's the problem?" Milo asked. "The fruit trees are disappearing," the toucan squawked, flapping its wings in distress. "We don't know who is taking them." Milo scratched his head, deep in thought. "Let's gather clues. We can investigate together." He began to examine the ground for signs of movement, noticing footprints leading away from the trees. With Kiki's agile help, they climbed to a nearby tree for a better view. "Look over there," Kiki pointed, spotting a clearing where a group of animals gathered. "Let's check it out." Milo felt his heart race as they approached the gathering. To their surprise, they found a family of capybaras feasting on the fallen fruit. "Excuse me," Milo called out. "Why are you taking all the fruit?" The capybaras looked sheepish. "We didn't mean to take everything. We just wanted to enjoy a treat," one of them said. Milo frowned, realizing the importance of sharing. "We need to talk about balance in nature. If you take too much, there won't be enough for others." Kiki chimed in. "Why don't we all work together to find fresh fruit? We can make it a fun adventure." With smiles and laughter, they set off to explore the jungle together. Milo felt a sense of accomplishment as they discovered new fruit trees, ensuring everyone could enjoy nature's bounty. As they returned to the clearing, Milo felt a warmth in his heart. By helping others and learning about the ecosystem, he realized how important it was to work together. After their success in the jungle, Milo was eager for his next adventure. Orin arranged for them to travel to the desert to meet Tula, the wise tortoise. With Kiki by his side, Milo felt ready to tackle any challenge. As they arrived in the desert, the scorching sun beat down on them, and Milo quickly noticed that something was off. The usually vibrant cacti looked droopy and sad. "What's happening here?" Milo wondered aloud. "Let's find Tula," Kiki suggested, her tone serious. "She'll know what's going on." After wandering through the sandy terrain, they spotted Tula slowly, making her way across the dunes. "Hello, young detectives," she greeted warmly, her wise eyes twinkling. "I see you've come to help." "Tula, the cacti are wilting," Milo said, pointing to the lifeless plants. "What's causing this?" Tula sighed. "It's the heat, and the water levels are low. The desert is a tough place to live, and we need to find a way to conserve our resources." Milo pondered for a moment. "What if we create a system for sharing water? I saw some animals hoarding it when we arrived." Tula nodded thoughtfully. "That's a wise idea, Milo. We must teach the animals about conservation and sharing, or they will all suffer." Milo and Kiki followed Tula through the desert, speaking to the animals about the importance of sharing water. They approached a group of jackrabbits who were known for their speed. "Why are you hoarding so much water?" Milo asked gently. "We thought it would run out." One of the rabbits replied, looking worried. "We wanted to be prepared. But if you share what you have, everyone will be okay," Kiki chimed in. "We can all work together to find more sources of water." Milo and his friends helped the jackrabbits dig a small watering hole, showing them how to catch rainwater when it fell. The animals were hesitant at first, but with Tula's gentle guidance and Milo's enthusiasm, they began to understand the importance of sharing resources. As the sun began to set, painting the desert sky in brilliant colors, Milo felt a sense of accomplishment. "We did it. We helped the animals learn to work together." Tula smiled. "You've done well, Milo. It's important to know that even in the harshest environments, cooperation is key to survival." Next, the animal detectives set off to the ocean, where they would meet Finn, the playful dolphin. Milo was filled with excitement as they arrived at the vibrant coral reef, the sun glistening on the surface of the water. "Welcome to my home," Finn called, leaping out of the water in a magnificent arc. "What brings you here?" "Finn, we need your help," Kiki explained. "Fish are disappearing, and we must find out why." Finn nodded seriously. "Let's dive in. There's something strange happening beneath the waves." Milo held his breath, feeling a rush of exhilaration as he plunged into the ocean alongside Finn. As they swam through the coral reef, Milo marveled at the colorful fish darting around. But soon, he noticed an eerie quiet. Fewer fish were swimming than usual. "Look, Finn pointed toward a large fishing net tangled in the corals. That's what's causing the problem. Milo felt a pang of sadness. We need to help the fish. Together with Finn, they devised a plan. They worked tirelessly, freeing the trapped fish from the net. Finn used his agility to swim in and out of the net, while Milo encouraged the frightened fish to escape. After what felt like hours, they finally freed the last fish. They watched as the colorful school of fish swam away, their movements graceful and full of life. "Thank you, Milo." Finn cheered. "You've saved them. But what about the nets?" Milo asked, concerned. "We need to do something about them." Finn nodded. "Let's educate the fishermen on how to protect the ocean. They don't know what's happening beneath the waves." Back on the shore, Milo, Kiki, Tula, and Finn spoke to the fishermen about the importance of sustainable fishing and keeping the ocean clean. Together, they started a campaign to raise awareness, making sure that everyone knew how to protect the precious marine life. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the ocean with hues of orange and purple, Milo felt a sense of pride. They had not only solved a mystery, but also sparked change. With each mystery solved, Milo and the animal detectives felt a growing sense of purpose. But the lessons learned were far from over. Their adventures had revealed a deeper problem affecting all ecosystems. As they gathered at the old oak tree, Orin appeared, looking grave. "Dear friends, we have a serious issue at hand. Pollution, deforestation, and climate change are affecting all our homes. We must come together to find a solution." Milo's heart raced. "What can we do?" "We need to unite all the animals from the jungle, desert, ocean, and savanna," Orin explained. "Together, we can create a plan to educate others and take action." With Milo's determination and the strength of the animal detectives, they set off to gather all their friends. They organized a grand assembly at the center of the savanna, where animals from every environment came together. As the sun shone brightly above, Milo stood in front of the crowd, feeling a sense of responsibility. "We've all faced challenges, but we're stronger together. Let's protect our homes, our planet, and each other." The animals cheered, their voices ringing with hope. They brainstormed ideas, planting trees, cleaning up trash, and teaching the next generation about the importance of preserving nature. With their plans set in motion, they took action. They organized community cleanups, educational workshops, and tree planting days. Milo felt inspired as he watched the animals and humans work side by side, creating a brighter future. After months of hard work, Milo and the animal detective stood in awe as they witnessed the changes around them. The jungle flowered, ished with fruit trees, the desert bloomed with vibrant cacti, the ocean sparkled with life, and the savanna was lush and green. As the sun began to set, Milo gathered with his friends at the old oak tree, where they had first met. "We did it! We worked together and made a difference," he exclaimed, his heart full of joy. Orin perched on a branch, a proud smile on his beak. "You've shown us all that every action counts. Together, we can protect our planet." Kiki swung from branch to branch, calling out, "Let's celebrate our success." The animals cheered, and they organized a grand feast under the stars. They shared stories, laughter, and delicious food, united by their love for nature. As Milo looked around at his friends, he felt grateful for the adventures they had shared. He realized that each mystery had taught him valuable lessons about empathy, cooperation, and the importance of balance in nature. As the night wore on, Milo felt a sense of peace wash over him. He had come so far from that little boy in his backyard, and he was now a true detective of nature. But in his heart, he knew that his journey was just beginning. There were still mysteries to solve and lessons to learn. "Milo," Orin said, breaking the silence, "your heart is filled with compassion, and I can see that you're ready for more adventures. Remember, every day is an opportunity to make a difference." Milo nodded, feeling inspired. "I want to continue protecting nature and helping others understand its importance." As dawn broke, illuminating the world with golden light, Milo knew he would always be an advocate for the animals and the environment. He promised to share his knowledge with others, inspiring them to appreciate the beauty of nature. With a heart full of dreams, Milo looked forward to his next adventure with the animal detectives, ready to explore new mysteries and make the world a better place. In the days that followed, Milo returned home, sharing the stories of his adventures with friends and family. He started a club dedicated to protecting the environment, inviting everyone to join. Together, they cleaned parks, planted trees, and educated others about the importance of caring for nature. As he lay in bed each night, Milo knew that no matter where his adventures took him, he would always have the animal detectives by his side. And with their guidance, he would continue to solve mysteries, protect the environment, and spread kindness. And so, the story of Milo and the animal detectives spread far and wide, inspiring children everywhere to look closely at the world around them and make a difference, one small step at a time. The end.
Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to la land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the land on gentle feet. Close your eyes, let the dreams unfold. Tales by tales, where the magic's told. Whispers of wonder, soft and sweet, drifting to the land on gentle feet.